Imagine trusting someone with your life and realizing too late they've been the one sharpening the knife for your back. If you love dark thrillers full of betrayal and shocking twists, then stick around till the very end. This story will not let you go. And before we dive in, don't forget to hit subscribe and like this video. It helps me bring you more stories just like this one. Now let's begin. Chapter 1. The last job. Rain hammered the broken streets of Ravenport, a city where loyalty was currency and betrayal was inevitable. Ethan Kane pulled his collar higher as he moved through the alley. He wasn't just a thief, he was the thief. The one whispered about in mafia dens and police precincts alike. For 10 years, he had survived every job, every double cross, every bullet meant for him. But tonight felt different. Beside him walked Lucas Vega, his partner, his closest friend. They'd bled together in alleys, shared whiskey after jobs, and trusted each other when no one else could be trusted. Lucas was family, or so Ethan believed. Their target was bold, the Ravenport Syndicate's vault, hidden beneath the Crimson Tower. Millions in cash, jewels, and documents that could cripple half the city's criminal underworld. Last one, brother, Lucas muttered, loading his pistol. Yeah, Ethan said, forcing a smile. After this, we're ghosts. They broke in like shadows. Cameras cut out, guards silenced, alarms looped. It was perfect to perfect. And then it happened. As Ethan knelt over the final lock, Lucas' gun clicked behind his head. Sorry, brother, Lucas whispered. But this payday's mine. The betrayal burned deeper than any bullet. Ethan turned slowly, seeing not just his partner, but the man he trusted more than anyone, ready to end him. Chapter 2. Ashes. The shot rang out. Ethan collapsed, but not dead. Lucas wanted him alive long enough to see everything stolen. The cash, the jewels, the freedom they dreamed of. The vault door closed with a thunderous slam, trapping Ethan inside. Bleeding, broken, left to die in the Syndicate's tomb. Hours passed. Sirens wailed outside. Somewhere above, the Syndicate discovered the break-in. Ethan could hear their fury echoing through the steel walls. By the time they found him, he was half dead. But instead of killing him, the Syndicate had other plans. You'll work for us now, their boss, Victor Morrow, said with a cold smile. Your partner betrayed you. You want revenge. Earn it. Hunt him down for me. Ethan's soul burned. He wasn't just going to find Lucas. He was going to make him wish had never been born. Chapter 3. The hunt begins. Weeks later, Ethan was a ghost walking through Ravenport. Everyone thought had died in that vault. Lucas had vanished with the loot, hiding behind new names, new allies, new power. But Ethan had something Lucas didn't: rage. Every night, he hunted. He tracked Syndicate rats, interrogated thieves, bribed cops. And slowly, the trail pointed to one place: Black Harbor, a coastal fortress city where Lucas was building his empire. But Ethan wasn't alone anymore. He had Mia Torres, a former Syndicate hacker who'd lost her family in one of Lucas' deals. She was sharp, fearless, and deadly with a laptop. And he had Victor's men, though Ethan knew better than to trust them. Together, they carved a bloody path toward Lucas. And with each step, Ethan remembered that moment in the vault. The cold words. The betrayal. Chapter 4. Blood and Glass. Their first strike was against one of Lucas' outposts, a nightclub called the Glass Veil, where money laundering and drug deals ran unchecked. Ethan walked in like a ghost, mask pulled low, pistol loaded. The music roared, lights flashing across faces of criminals who thought they were untouchable. They weren't. By the time the shooting stopped, the floor was painted in blood and glass. Ethan stood over the trembling manager. Where's Lucas? He demanded. I don't know. He's got a fortress. He doesn't trust anyone. But Ethan didn't need loyalty. Fear was enough. Every broken bone, every shattered window, it was all a message. Ethan Kane was back. Chapter 5. A twist of knives. Lucas knew Ethan was alive before the city did. From his penthouse in Black Harbor, Lucas sipped whiskey, staring at a burning photo of him and Ethan, two brothers once bound by trust. He's coming, Lucas muttered. His new allies, the Black Harbor cartel, laughed it off. But Lucas didn't. He remembered Ethan's eyes. He remembered the fire. And deep down, he knew the truth. This war would end with one of them buried. Chapter 6. Ghosts of the Harbor. Black Harbor looked like a fortress carved out of steel and greed. Neon lights masked its rotting core. Cartels, mercenaries, and smugglers ran the streets. Ethan, Mia, and their small syndicate-backed crew slipped in under false names, posing as arms dealers. Every corner reeked of danger. At night, Ethan dreamed of the vault, of Lucas' whisper before the gunshot. He woke with his fists clenched, nails digging into his palms. Lucas wasn't just a target. He was an obsession. Chapter 7. The informant. They found their first lead in the harbor market's a drug runner named Carlos, who once worked for Lucas. Cornered in an alley, Carlos spat blood as Ethan pressed him against a wall. "Where's Lucas?" "You think Hayes stupid? He knows you're coming." Carlos wheezed. Hayes building something bigger than you know." But before Carlos could say more, a sniper's bullet tore through his skull. Blood sprayed the brick. Ethan and Mia barely escaped the ambush alive. Lucas wasn't hiding. He was watching. Chapter 8. Cracks in the alliance. Victor Morrow's men grew restless. Ethan wasn't moving fast enough for their liking. "We're not here to chase your vendetta," one snarled. "You're here because your boss made a deal," Ethan shot back, eyes like steel. "I find Lucas. You get your cut. Stay in line or get buried." But Ethan knew the truth. Victor had his own agenda. And the deeper Ethan went, the clearer it became this wasn't just about revenge. Lucas and Victor were once allies. Something had broken them apart. And now Ethan was caught in the middle of a much bigger war. Chapter 9. Betrayal in the dark. It happened during a raid on a cartel warehouse. Ethan's crew stormed the building, bullets flying, crates exploding. They grabbed weapons, files proof of Lucas' growing empire. But then Victor's men turned their guns on Ethan. Orders, their leader sneered. Mia screamed as Ethan dove for cover. Betrayed again. Double-crossed like a pawn in someone else's game. He fought his way out, dragging Mia through fire and blood, but the truth was clear now. Victor never wanted Lucas dead. He wanted Ethan out of the way. Chapter 10. The face of the enemy. Ethan finally saw Lucas again. It wasn't on a battlefield, but at a masquerade gala deep inside Black Harbor's heart. Lucas wore a silver mask, laughing among politicians and crime lords. Ethan slipped through the crowd, pistol hidden beneath his jacket. For one heartbeat, their eyes met. Lucas smirked, raised his glass, and mouthed, "Not yet." Ethan froze. Shooting him here meant chaos, death, exposure. But the fury inside him burned brighter than ever. Lucas wasn't just living. He was thriving on the ashes of their brotherhood. Chapter 11. The woman in the middle. Mia grew distant. She was fearless, loyal, or so Ethan thought. But one night, he caught her whispering into a burner phone. "Are you sure about this?" she hissed. "He trusts me. He can't know." Ethan confronted her, rage boiling. "Who were you talking to?" Her eyes flashed, torn between guilt and defiance. "Lucas," she whispered. The words cut deeper than any blade. She had been playing both sides. Chapter 12. Firestorm. The final showdown began, not with a bullet, but with fire. Lucas' cartel lit half of Black Harbor ablaze. Warehouses, docks, markets. Chaos swept the city as his forces clashed with Victor's. And in the middle of the inferno, Ethan hunted. He tore through mercenaries, through smoke and steel, until he reached the rooftop of the harbor tower. And there he found them. Lucas, waiting with his pistol drawn. Mia beside him, her face shadowed with regret. Chapter 13. Brothers. Broken 10 years. Ethan snarled, gun raised. 10 years, and you threw it away. Lucas' eyes were cold. "We were never brothers. You were a tool, a shield. I needed you until I didn't." Mia stepped between them, tears streaming. "Stop this. Both of you. You'll burn everything." But there was no stopping it. The rooftop exploded in gunfire. Bullets ripped through steel. Glass shattered. The harbor burned below. Mia screamed as a round grazed her arm. Ethan fired again and again, each shot fueled by rage, betrayal, grief. Finally, he cornered Lucas, pressing his gun to his former brother's chest. Lucas smiled. "You think killing me ends this? You'll never stop looking over your shoulder. You'll never be free." For one long moment, Ethan hesitated. And then out. Chapter 14. The fall. The shot echoed across Black Harbor. Lucas staggered back, blood blooming across his chest. He laughed one last time before tumbling into the flames below. Mia collapsed, sobbing. Ethan stood frozen, smoke swirling around him, his pistol trembling in his hand. It was over. But it wasn't. Because as dawn broke, Victor Morrow's men closed in. "You killed him," Their leader said, "Good. Now you belong to us." Ethan realized the truth too late. He hadn't won. Had only traded one chain for another. Epilogue. Shadows remain weeks later. Ethan walked Ravenport's alleys alone. Lucas was dead. Mia had vanished. Victor held the city in his iron grip. And Ethan? He was no longer a thief. No longer a brother. No longer a man of loyalty. He was a ghost. A shadow. A warning whispered in the dark. And somewhere, deep inside, he knew the cycle wasn't over. Because betrayal never dies. And that was the story of Ethan Kane, Betrayal, and Revenge. If you made it this far, thank you for watching until the end. You're the reason I keep telling these stories. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button if you want more dark thrillers just like this one. And let me know in the comments, would you have pulled the trigger on Lucas?